Good evening and welcome to Parkland Challenge. This is where accomplished, brilliant, and well-respected celebrities take all their mighty brain power, their intellect, their formidable expertise, and apply them to a silly trivia game, all in the name of supporting the Parkland Institute. For this round, we have a bonus element, sibling rivalry. Let's meet our contestants. She's the author of 8 New York Times best-selling books, including No Logo, The Shock Doctrine, This Changes Everything, and most recently, a book for younger readers, How to Change Everything. She's unquestionably one of Canada's best and brightest. Naomi Klein, hello and welcome.
Hi.
He was the founding director of the BC office of the Canadian Centre for Policy Alternatives. He's an adjunct professor with Simon Fraser's Urban Studies program, and he's the author of A Good War, Mobilizing Canada for the Climate Emergency. He is Naomi's big brother, Seth Klein. Hello, big brother Seth.
Hey, Peter.
So let's get to know our contestants and the depth of their sibling rivalry. Naomi, in some families, the older sibling will introduce the younger one to bands or movies or other older kid stuff. Was Seth a tastemaker for you? Was his musical taste cool or embarrassing?
I wouldn't describe him as a tastemaker for me. We had a cooler older sister, still do. Her name's Misha. She's 5 years older than Seth, 7 years older than me, very much a child of the 70s. So she brought the cool music into the house. Seth was very much like the suck up to my parents for a lot of our childhood in terms of liking hippie music. But he did get oddly cool when he was I would say maybe 10th grade. And then there was a lot of English beat specials, UB40. I wouldn't have admitted it, but I did actually think it was pretty cool.
I introduced her to the struggle, Peter.
Oh, attaboy. That's despite getting called a suck up. That's really noble of you doing that.
Well,
now,
just to be clear on that, for me, my parents were small fry. I was right away going for the man.
Oh, okay.
She was the one who lost time with this sort of teenage rebellion, but otherwise a late bloomer on the grand struggle.
Eye on the prize for sure. So let's warm up with a quick round of Seth or Naomi. I'm going to tell you something about a famous person named Seth or Naomi and ask you to just shout out their first and last names if you know it. So this Seth or Naomi wrote The Beauty Myth.
Naomi Wolf.
Yes. Seth has a 1-point lead, almost insurmountable.
I don't say her name.
This is a touchy subject with Naomi.
It's a pretty forgettable name, obviously. This Seth or Naomi is part of a musical duo with daughter Winona.
Naomi Watts.
No. You're half right.
Oh my God.
The correct answer is Naomi Judd.
Judd, of course. Yeah.
Let me remind you that this is an Alberta event and you have shown you don't know country music at all. I'm not deducting any points, but the moral shame should really sting. Finally, this Seth or Naomi, and please get this one, is the host of Late Night with Seth Meyers.
I feel like that's at the tip of my tongue.
What?
So obviously neither of you knows that.
Seth Meyers. Okay.
Yes, go. Oof. I was going to let that silence just sit. So now we have a round about the legendary Alberta Premier, Ralph Klein. These are multiple choice questions. Please wait till you hear all the options because we put more time into the jokes than the serious answers. Naomi, this one's for you. The two of you grew up in Montreal, which makes you, in Ralph Klein's terminology, Eastern bastards. What did Ralph Klein invite you to do when he was mayor of Calgary? A, come enjoy our friendly hospitality. B, explore Calgary's mountain parks, which is all that's here if you believe our tourism ads. C, put on your Eastern bonnets and join our Eastern egg hunt. Or D, freeze in the dark.
D, freeze in the dark.
That is absolutely correct. Seth, this one's for you. What did Ralph Klein say caused the Ice Age? A, Milankovitch cycles. B, fluctuations in the Earth's rotation. C, a meteorite striking the Earth. Or D, dinosaur farts.
Boy, any of those seem possible.
Yep.
I'm not sure which one he said. I'll go with B.
Naomi, you want to take a guess?
I wasn't listening. Sorry.
Oh, man. We almost had a chance to have Naomi Klein say dinosaur farts. He said dinosaur farts caused the Ice Age.
Did he really say that?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
He was at an event and he said, What caused the ice age? Dinosaur farts? I don't know.
Can we just clarify, in case anyone is wondering, that he's not related to us?
Yes, I'm sorry. I should have called this round Ralph Klein, no relation.
Yeah.
So we have already, because this is a short game, arrived at our final round where you can win up to 1 billion points. Your challenge is this. The Parkland Institute is celebrating 25 years. So we're asking you to play a round called 25 years in 25 seconds. We're asking you to tell us what the work of the Parkland Institute means to you. It's worth 1 billion points. We'll do it in birth order. Seth Klein, you're up first. Go.
They are like another sibling to me. I remember I had lunch with Gord when the Parkland was just a twinkle in his eye. Because I was at CCPA all of those years, they're like a sister think tank. To me, Parkland's about, telling the truth in one of Canada's most challenging environments. Coming out swinging right out of the gate with Shredding the Public Interest. I still remember when that book came out, catapulted to a bestseller. To me, Parkland's just a beacon of reason and justice, and I'm grateful for it.
If that had been set to English beat, it would have been so good. Naomi Klein, 25 seconds on the Parkland Institute. Go.
Oh, I would say the Parkland Institute has always been my home away from home when I am in a hostile territory at times in Alberta. I've been doing events with Parkland since even before No Logo was published. I rely on their deep research to understand the world, and in particular, your very complicated little piece of the world. And I think it's just so important to show the complexity of Alberta, that it is not what your absolutely atrocious politicians project to the world in terms of this very simplified view of Alberta. I'm so grateful as a journalist, as a researcher, for the research that you do. So glad that you have stuck it out. So glad that you are so brave and not just taking on the right, but when the NDP is in power, holding their feet to the fire as well. We need more Parkland going forward.
I'm going to award Seth 1 billion points minus 10 and Naomi 1 billion points minus 9, but we round off to the nearest billion, so it's a tie. It's a tie, or as Donald Trump would say, a landslide. They stole it from me. Klein siblings, the good news is you're wonderful to spend time with. The bad news is I spent 3 days writing jokes we couldn't use because you're so chatty. Thank you so much for doing this, and thank you on behalf of the Parkland Institute. We really appreciate this, and all the best.
Congrats,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And now we have a question for you, our audience. This is actually a poll. In honor of its first 25 years, I think the Parkland Institute should introduce a new motto. If they do, and I think they should, what do you think that motto should be? A poll will pop up. Please vote. A, the Parkland Institute, speaking truth to power for a quarter century. B, the Parkland Institute, neither park nor land, discuss. C, the Parkland Institute, the Thinking Person's Fraser Institute. Or D, the Parkland Institute, Return of the Jedi. Please vote A, B, C, or D in our poll. And while you do that, let me tell you that coming up in round 2, quiz battle of the Smiths, Heather Smith of UNA versus Guy Smith from AUPE. See you soon for the Smith versus Smith trivia battle. Now back to you, Ricardo and Bill. Bop, 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 bop.